Hello and welcome back. Today I want to share with you my personal experience of how I made some simple changes to my diet and that helped me improve my health and profoundly transform my life. Reflecting back, I realize now that my diet habits were always bad. Being a food lover, I ate whatever food I came across and whenever I felt hungry. I now realize that was not ideal at all. I want to take you back a few years during the pandemic time. When the pandemic hit, my two children started virtual school from home, like millions of other schools in this country and around the world. The unit where my wife worked at the hospital got converted into COVID unit very early on. And all of the changes caused tremendous amount of stress in our family, like it did on many other families around the country and the world. I realized the pandemic accelerated my unhealthy eating habit, and during that time I gained more than 30 pounds. I felt lethargic and I was in bad mood all the time. Most of all, I felt guilty for letting my health slide this low. I went to my annual physical and met with my doctor. My lab results came a few days later and they looked terrible. All of them were in red zone. My blood pressure had shot up. My A1C, which by the way measures the state of your diabetes, had gone really bad into the red zone. And all the other lab results were really bad as well. And my doctor said somebody with a medical profile like mine could be a perfect victim of coronavirus. That short drive home was truly one of the saddest and scariest moments of my life. My doctor had recommended that I read a book called The Diabetes Code by Dr. Jason Fung. And on my way home from the clinic, I picked up the book and I sat down and read that book in a couple of days. And during that time, I also read many other books on diet and health. One other book that I remember is called How Not to Die by Michael Greger. I sat down and reflected on what had transpired, how I had let my health slide so low, how I had lost control of the things that I could control. If I was allowed to own only one car, how wonderfully I would have taken care of that car. Now here I was with one body and guaranteed only one body for the entire lifetime, and I was not taking care of it. I was letting it deteriorate. There were things in my control. There were things that I could change. There were habits I could form. They were all bad habits that I could let go. But here I was with only one body for the entire lifetime, and I had not taken good care of it. If there were incidents and accidents that were out of my control that would take my life away, I couldn't do anything about it. But there were a lot of things that I could control. There were a lot of changes that I could make that would help me improve my health. And I needed to make those changes, and only I could make those changes. I realized that I needed to make those changes and I needed to make them fast if I was going to save my life. The number one was my diet. I immediately needed to make some drastic changes in my diet, my exercise routine, my sleep hygiene, and my stress management. I thought about the choices that I had. Make and follow a healthy diet plan or become a part of coronavirus's diet plan. As you can imagine, I had no interest in the second choice. So I grabbed a paper and pen. I jotted down the immediate actions that I needed to take. I made an inventory of the food that I was eating at that time. Most of that food was bad for my health. It was mostly junk food and processed food, very high in sodium and carbohydrate and sugar and bad fat and bad cholesterol. I needed to add some good food to my diet. Fresh fruits, vegetables, berries, nuts, good protein, and good fat. After I finished reading The Diabetes Code by Jason Fung, I decided to give fasting a try. So I started with 16 hours of intermittent fasting with 8 hours of eating window. I ate only 2 healthy meals and no snacks in between. Once or twice a month, I extended my fast to 24 hours and even 48 hours. Soon, I started seeing very positive results. I lost weight and I felt great. In my diet, I also made some changes. From cookies and chips and junk snacks, I switched to nuts and berries and fresh fruits. During that time, I was eating white basmati rice and I was eating it frequently, which was definitely not good for my health. At first, I switched to brown rice and I continued with that for a few weeks. And slowly, I switched to multigrain, consisting of 20 different grains. In the beginning, I didn't like it that much. But after eating it for a while, I started liking it. I love it today. And from soda and store-bought juice, I switched to plain water. And it only took a few weeks for the results to show. In a few weeks, I started losing some weight. I started feeling great. I started sleeping better. My mood improved and my stamina went up. I felt great around my friends and families. Most importantly, I knew that I was in the right path, and that felt great. Now, when I consider my health in the future, I see a great healthy life ahead. And I truly believe that the changes that I made will help me add several active years to my life. So I hope my story inspires you to make some changes in your own health. These are some of the techniques that really work well for me. You need to evaluate and see if they work well for you as well. If you have special condition like diabetes and if you're considering fasting, please talk to your doctor first. However, if you're thinking about switching from soda to water, no need to consult your doctor. Okay, you can do that on your own. Thank you so much for your time today, and I hope you come back for more exciting videos in the future. See you soon.